Hey guys. Okay, so today I am going to show you a video on how to transplant tomatoes. These are not the ones I started in the winter sowing, I explained to you before. These are actually free plant starts I got from a friend of mine. So, the varieties I'm planting today are called Fruit Punch Picnic, and this one over here is a Chadwick Cherry. I don't know, can you see the label? Part of it is buried. It says Chadwick Cherry. Trust me, it does. They're both, I'm told they're both a smaller cherry tomato, probably about that big. A orangish yellow in color. And the reason I'm planting them is because I'm told that the orange yellow ones, sorry, I'm being distracted. The orange yellow ones have less acid than the red ones. They're less acidic, so they're better for people with, like, acid reflux or chronic heartburn. They're better for people like that than the red tomatoes. So I'm going to show you guys how to transplant a tomato today. Now, where you want to put them, you want a location that gets a lot of sun. Tomatoes like full sun. They can handle a little bit of shade. They don't mind it, but they prefer full sun. Now, in my garden, I don't have full sun. There's always a little bit of shade going on in my garden. At some point in the day, there's almost always a shaded part. So, my full sun crops don't tend to get, like, massively huge, but they produce all right. And the soil you want to put them in, one second, my shovel is way over here. I need that, thank you. Now, the soil you want to put them in, tomatoes are heavy feeders, so they need a lot of nutrients. So when you go to dig the hole, you definitely want to make sure it is amended, and they also like loose soil, so you want to make sure that it's nice and loose. Get out of the way there. Ooh, shaky camera work. Sorry guys, no tripod today. Okay. So you want to make sure that the soil is nice and loose. This isn't very loose, but I'm just gonna, break it up with my shovel. So they need lots of nutrients, so make sure you put in a lot of compost. When you go to actually plant them, you want to make sure that you get the hole as deep as you can. That is because when planting tomatoes, I don't know, can you see all the little hairs on the stem? Focus. Focus. Are you gonna focus? Focus. We're not gonna get focused today. Well, there are little hairs, you can see them if you have a tomato plant. There's little hairs all up and down the stem. And if you bury it, anywhere that soil touches that stem, roots are going to come out. Now, with plants that, are as tall as these ones, I would like to be able to bury the stem probably all the way up to here, to have all that underneath the ground, all producing roots. But I don't think I'm going to get it as deep as that because of my soil. So I'm just going to try to get it as deep as I can and break off any stems that end up under the soil, because they'll end up rotting and hurting the tomato if you don't do that. If you can't get really far down in your soil, a handy trick is to dig a long hole instead of a deep hole. See how I'm making this more into a trench than a hole? That's for if you can't get the hole as deep as you want it. I'm really sorry if this is awful camera work. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't have the tripod today. Okay, let's get that root out of there. It's a morning glory root. If you have morning glories, I feel sorry for you. Those things are a pain in the butt. So with a long hole, what you can do is you can actually lay the tomato plant in like that, and then turn it upwards like that so that all of that stem is under the soil. Now, Now for how you want to amend the planting hole. What I usually do is I take like, a good handful of compost. This isn't like finished compost. I ran out of my finished stuff. So this is, almost there. It's almost fully broken down. It's close enough. You don't need it to be fully broken down. This stuff will work perfectly fine. It'll continue to break down in the soil. It'll work great. So add in your compost like you do any planting hole. Now for tomatoes, they have a problem called blossom end rot. I've had a problem with it in my garden. That's when you have the tomato and it's looking great, and all of a sudden the bottom portion of it suddenly turns brown and is rotting, while the rest of the tomato may not even be ripe yet. That's called blossom end rot, and that is from a calcium deficiency when the plant is young. So what you want to do is you want to take eggshells. I got these ones, I crushed them up, dried them out, crushed them up. Just take a good healthy handful, just sprinkle that all into the plant hole. Just a good amount of them, all of the eggshells. And then after that is you want to add in Epsom salts. Now Epsom salts are not a salt, it's a mineral called magnesium sulfate. And the magnesium helps the plant take up the calcium. And it also promotes a lot of good green growth. These are both just really good things. And you might also want to toss in a all-purpose fertilizer like the Trifecta Plus I was using in my last video. I ran out of the Trifecta Plus. I should probably get more, but I just got it as a trial run this year to see how it worked. But I'm out of it now, so I don't have any. But that's totally cool. Some people also toss in dried and crushed up banana peels to add potassium to the soil, which tomatoes also really like. I did that once, didn't see a whole lot of difference, so I guess my soil isn't that deficient in potassium. So I'm not going to do that. So once you have all the amendments in the soil, what you want to do is you want to take your lovely watering can over here and just water it in. It really does help if you water them, if you water the planting hole itself. Mix it all together. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your tomato and you're going to remove it from the pot. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm one-handed. Okay, what you want to do, I'm going to remove the plant label. Looks like we're working on the fruit punch salad right now. I'm going to take the tomato. I really hope that's in frame because I can't see the screen. Tilt it upside down. Pop it out, just like that. Boom. Beautiful. Alrighty. Now you got your tomato. You're going to lay it in your hole. See where it all lays. Okay, so looks like I'm going to have to take off the bottom 4 branches. I'm also going to take off the seedling leaves. So what you're going to do is you're basically just going to pinch them. Luckily, I have a thumbnail now. Yay, I bite my nails. And you're just going to take it. See if you can see that. You can't see that. Come on, in the frame, please. You're going to take it, and you're going to pinch it off. And you're going to do that to all the lower branches. Just pinch it off. Pinch it off. Come on. Pinch it off. That one didn't come off all the way. No, no. Got it. Okay, so now you're just going to lay the tomato down in like that. This part is going to be bent up so it'll be above the soil surface and all that will turn into roots. Okay, so now you're going to take the soil that you took out and you're just going to backfill. Now when you're doing this, you want to be really careful not to damage or crush the stem, because it's still going to need the original roots to feed it while it's forming the new roots. So you want to be really careful not to crush or damage the stem. So just backfill, backfill, backfill. High wind. making my audio horrible again. Thank you for that. Also, I apologize if the lighting is terrible. I meant to get to this earlier. Okay, and voila, there is a planted fruit punch salad tomato. Now, once you got it planted, you're gonna water it. You're gonna water it deep, right above where you put that stem. Give it a nice long watering. I'm just gonna hold the watering can here for a minute. Try to avoid getting the leaves wet because that can promote powdery mildew and mold and problem like that. Okay, we're just gonna put that over there. Now the watering requirements for this. Tomatoes typically want about 1 inch of water a week, which I believe, now you can like Google this just to make sure. I believe 1 inch of water is about somewhere between 0.6 gallons and 1 gallon of water a week. Not all at once, spread out throughout the week, but roughly that much. And to fertilizing tomatoes, if you have, very nutrient-rich soil, it's not really necessary, but it's really easy to do. Every couple of months you take like the Epsom salt that I was using earlier, you take like a handful of it, you sprinkle it around the plant, and then you water it in. It's water soluble, so it'll carry down into the soil. And finally, pruning. Some people prune their tomatoes, other people don't. I personally don't. I just let them, grow willy-nilly. Let them do whatever. If you guys want me to do a video on how to prune your tomatoes, I'll be happy to do that. So that is how you plant tomato plants. Alright? I'm going to get my other one planted, and I will see you guys later. Bye!